So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am Denise Armenio, and I am here from sunny Kiowa, South Carolina today. And I have Connie with me, and I have Claire McIntyre with me. And we are going to work with the new strain of Candida that's been on the news that they're saying is no treatment for, or is antibiotic resistant, I guess is what they're saying. And I think it's Candida Auris, it's A-U-R-I-S, something like that. I have it spelt right in the library, but let me just start sharing my screen here so that we can all get to the genius. And hold on, guys, I'm a little bit impaired by some glare here, so just give me a second. Just want to get everything set up. How is everybody doing? Has everybody had a good week? If you want to put some comments there in the group chat, that would be great. Everybody could hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. I am going to set today up as a group. I'm just going to put Thursday live. Why is my, whoops, Thursday live. I don't know why that text box is there again, but Claire, can you take a screenshot of that so we can, oh, okay, so now the birth date would be today is March 30th. Wow, March went really fast, huh? 2023. Okay, so here we are. I am going to continue with new analysis. Let me see some of these comments. Margaret is surviving the apocalypse with the genius. And Sylvia is doing better. Oh, so Sylvia had an attack of something intestinal on Monday. Well, Sylvia, hopefully this will help you since we are going to be working with the biotrain. So if everybody just wants, I'm going to count everybody down. If you just want to unmic for a minute and we can record our voices. So when I see everybody's mics go off, there we go. Barbara, Connie, you're still mic'd. David, Kathy. So if you're gonna be included in this voice analysis, unmic now. All right, so we're gonna get started. So to record, we're gonna hit this little microphone button and we can stop when this 15 seconds gets to 0. And basically we're all gonna say our full name and repeat the vowels A, E, I, O, U until we get to 0. So I'm gonna count you down. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Barbara,
Jell,
Ruby,
Armenio, A,
U,
I,
Atkinson,
A, I, O, U, I, O. Terrific. Everybody did great. Thank you. You can all remute yourselves. That would be great. All right, so now we recorded that. I will play the voice harmonics here to play back for everybody. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to hit next. And I am also, once again, I need to get the whole, everybody's picture here. Give me 1 second, everybody, because I want to take a group shot. And sorry, guys. Okay. So now we have the picture. Okay. Sorry, when you're working from your lap, things don't. Oh, look at Claire. She's got a fancy background now. I didn't grab the picture in time, so hold on. This is just not working how I want it to work right now. My little controls here are covered up. Sorry guys for this little glitching here. Okay, now I think we got it. All right, so now everybody can see. Now I can go to existing photo with any look, and there we are. And we can use the picture. Fabulous. And begin analysis. And continue. And yes, we are going to use an energetic affirmation. And I'm just going to use the one I always use, which is all, energies are transmuted into the frequency of pure love. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go to the back office and add all my libraries. And we want to add to client. Sorry, I'm trying to. Yeah, Margaret. Claire is chilling with her background. They are very nice. I'm sending the warm air to Claire. No.
I'm teasing.
Okay. Sorry, we're a little slow here. Now the master branch. Add to client. Select all. All right, now we should be good to go. So did it, has everybody seen that report on that new strain, the Candida? As we're waiting for my.
No, I haven't seen it. Is it, which part of the body is it attacking, or is it just all over?
That's a good question, Claire. I don't know the answer to that. I don't remember exactly what it said. I just know that they said that they're seeing this strain now in, I guess, in doctors' offices and in hospitals, and it's resistant to antibiotics. So we're going to work on it for everybody today and just make sure, hopefully, it's not showing up. I want to go now to get the libraries and run the analysis. So again, for anybody, I did update the bioterrain library in the Candida and yeast library. So in order to get the update, you will need to log out and back in and then sync your libraries, and it should be in there. So if you, it would have only been if you logged out today, because I only did the update last night, but do test that. I am going to first look at everybody's aura here. Okay, so what's in the center looks pretty good. It's a little pale, so I mean, there could be some stagnant energy in there. And in this area, to me, I do have a little bit of a sun glare, but that looks like it could be like grayish. So, you know, I would look at that potentially maybe as black. We can switch to the old. Again, you might be seeing this differently than me because I've got a little bit of glare here, but I think that there's, I think it's gray on the bottom. I don't think the color is going all the way down. So we may not all be in our bodies, but I don't know if anybody's seeing anything different. I'm happy to have you put it, but that's okay as long as we get some change. And so let's just look at what today's stress is showing. So we see some sensitivities. Now it could be, it is spring, so maybe some people are going to be affected by some allergies in there. Actually, it looks pretty good, I have to say, strangely. So we only have one red. That's actually great. Oh, Margaret is saying there is dark yellow energy on the bottom of the legs. But Margaret, did it go all the way to the bottom of the page, or is it like void of color on the bottom? I don't know if you could still see it now that I've gone off that. But let's start by going to priming the vessel here. Okay, so we went to the bottom. It was just a dark, dirty yellow. Yeah, so some stagnant energy, I guess, for sure is in there. And the vessel priming frequencies, let's just add all of those in. And we can run this. Going to move the counter down to 1 minute. And we can run all of these. And I'm just going to hit play. Anyone has any issues that they're trying to work with today, if you want to put them in the comments, maybe we can see if they're able to correct themselves by the time we finish this scan today. Would be great. You can just put what your issue is and rate it on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being severe. Okay, great. So we had a 45% rectification. There, it goes from about 36 to 52. So that's within that range, that 20 range I like to stay within. I am going to back out of here now because I'm happy with that number for everybody. I'm just going to clear the main hold tray here. And let's go to general overview. Oops. And come on. And okay, great. So I'm going to add when I stop speech balling. So we can add the top 50 and the bottom 50. And we could just switch the view here from up top, where if you press that 0 to 100, so we could see some of the items that are more acute would be bergamot, essential oil, progesterone, triple heater 0.4, stomach, meridian 29. Interesting, an underlying cause for AI infringements coming up as the internet. So anyway, we have a little bit look of that. Now we could remove the libraries. And when we remove those, now we just are working with the 27 panels that are built into the Genius app, and we can add the top 50 and bottom 50 again. Excuse me. And then run an analysis on those almost 200, 198 items. And we can hit all. And so for those of you that are new, the reason why I've just run these two panels is the first priming vessel one is just to help prime your body so that you can better take in the vessels of the frequencies that are being sent out. And this panel that we're running right now from the general overview is just the Genius has found all the items from the entire database of the libraries that I'm running, put them all in numerical order, and has and we're working with the top 50 highs and the bottom 50 lows. So oftentimes we need to get to the root cause of something, and we may not know to look in some of these libraries and to find these line items that need balancing. So it's a really good way to help work and get to the root cause of things. So we did have a really good rectification here, 51%. And again, the harmony, alignment, and energy flow is pretty tight. So now I'm going to back out. And we can clear the main hold tray. And now we can just go and look at some of the items that we may want to grab and drop into our main hold tray before we start looking at the Candida library to work with that new Candida strain. But let's just look at body systems, since that is showing up at top. Reproductive is showing. Circulatory is in the 600, so I added that to the tray. And the skeletal, digestive, respiratory, endocrine, so I added those from underneath. Julie is saying she has a rash from a chemical additive. Okay, I can't pronounce that 100%. It is in everything. Okay, that's good to know. I don't know if I have that in any of my libraries, but maybe we can do something about that, Julie, and add that in if it is a chemical sensitivity. So now that we've looked at this, let's just go back and we can look at, go back to the today's stress and put in the sensitivities. Oops, I didn't want to do that, sorry. And what do we want to add in here? I want to add in fungal. There it is. Just see if it shows up. Okay, and then we can go and add in, I always like to add in digestion and all of the different parts. So I'm just going to grab the digestion itself. That will bring in the library title name and all the parts, which these are also what got dragged in when I dragged and dropped that in. Let's drag in the aura, and for meridians, let's add in our governing and conception vessel meridians. And we can add in the neurotransmitters and add in theta. And now let's just go to our custom libraries. And we can go and let's find the bioterrain and see what shows up in there. So Candida and yeast is where I added that. And let's just look at it first to see if we could find it. Hopefully it's not an issue for any of us, and here it is, and it's 630, so it is on that cusp. It is above 600, so I am going to add that. I'm going to add all of these that are above it as well. It'll be interesting to see where it is. Let's just run a, actually, let's go to the solutions. And we can add all the solutions in here. And we can go into, I'm just going to do the reds and the blues in fungus and add then some of the fungus statements. And again, I'm just going to add the reds and the blues. And now we can go to the progressive insights and run an analysis, and let's see what happens. Okay, so just let's check again. Just curious where that Candida, that new strain is showing up. And look at that, it is in the highs. So, okay, I'm going to run all of these for 1 minute for everybody. And while that's running, I just want to read okay, so Margaret, for the main categories, either in general overview or custom libraries, if you add reds and blues from the main screen, will it only add the main library name like sensitivities? I'm not sure if I'm following you, Margaret. Margaret, maybe you want to unmute yourself, because I'm not sure I'm following what you're asking me from the chat.
Sometimes I just want to add the title of the library, but not everything in it. So if you add reds and blues from the main screen, we'll just
Yeah, you're gonna get it all. You would have to go in and then if you didn't want, like for digestion, you're saying if you just want digestion as the name, but not everything behind it.
yeah, like I don't want like flora, enzymes, mouth.
So you could go into, I think it was in there was another area in that has just digestion, but it doesn't, but it's just the one line. You would have to add it from there.
Okay, because I don't know if when Ryan talked to us for he was on one of the classes. I thought he said if you drag and drop, you get everything, including the title. But if you add reds and blues from general overview, or that you only get the titles. But maybe that's, I can't remember, because I think he was going to change it for the meridians, because you would add the meridian and then all the points would come with it too. That was like a lot.
Yeah, no, it does. That doesn't happen though on the meridians though. It doesn't drag and drop each individual point. It will just drag. So yeah, you don't get that. But for stuff like digestion or neurotransmitters, it will drop everything in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
So we have a 64% here, and again, the range is within that 20, so I'm good there. I just want to rescan this, and then we can run the highs and the lows.
Denise, while you're rescanning, I do think Margaret's correct from the main overview that it wouldn't pull in everything. So if you just want the title, I think she's absolutely correct.
From the main overview,
just
you're talking about. Oh, if you pull it from, you mean if you go into the general overview? If you pull in, if you add digestion here, it's going to pull everything. If you pull digestion from today's stress, if it's in here, there's digestion in one of these. Hold on. Body systems, I think maybe. If you add digestive here, it's just digestive, but in over here, it's digestion. So it's slightly different. I don't know what you mean by if you go into the general overview. You're talking about if I go into general overview here and find digestion, it's going to be hard for me to find it.
I'll experiment over here just so I don't interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can look at that later. But
Denise, this is Pam. Can I ask you a question?
Who is it?
This is Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. So when Dr. Deb was doing it on Tuesday, she just put the name, she dragged the into the main tray, the name of the library, and she said that way I won't have so many items there because I don't want to, if I put all the items, even though I want to, she said it's going to go into like 400, 600 items. So she just dragged that, but that doesn't happen when I tried doing that. So she was, dragging from the system overview.
So,
say for example,
okay, I'm gonna experiment right now with the quick zap. If I were to drag chemical sensitivities up to quick zap, I have all the chemical sensitivities.
But
what?
when she did that, only the name of that library came, so that what was happening, I mean, the main item, not.
I don't know, maybe she has an older version of it.
Denise,
like, yeah.
Margaret, try to go down to the main tray bottom where you put just plus, and I think it only adds the red and blues of the main libraries, but I could be wrong. If you go down to the
No.
and you add reds and blues on that screen, it only takes the titles. I'm not sure. I think that has happened, but I don't remember. If you just add red and blue items.
No, that's not how she was doing it actually. So that's why I asked.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't on, but like on any of these, you should be getting everything that's with that line. You don't just get the title name.
Yeah, okay,
So-
I'll ask her because I was quite surprised because she said otherwise it goes into like 900 items and she was pulling things down. So she said, I don't want to do so I'm just going to take the name of, from the system overview and just put it down. That way it doesn't add too many items. So if you get a chance to talk to her, then maybe, you
Okay.
could ask. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome. Okay, so now we're back. We ran this off for 1 minute. I'm gonna run the highs and the lows. And again, I'm just curious to see where that Candida, that new one is. If it's still it's still in the highs. So let's just run this for another minute and see what we get. Okay, so that's a 40% rectification. Now, I know that a lot of you often like to see me work with functional zones. So since we're focused on this new strain of Candida, why don't we click that and go to functional zone considerations, and let's see what shows up for that. Okay, so we can start at the top here for the geophysical zone. Okay, so we see 99% is radioactivity stress evaluation. And we have geopathic charge stress evaluation. Let's go into microorganism zone. And again, fungus stress evaluation, that is at 96% and bacteria at 95. And vaccine stress evaluation, that's interesting. Immune stress evaluation. So I don't know if anybody's thinking what I'm thinking on that, if that has anything to do with this new strain. So now we have different stress evaluations here, the foci field. That was under interference zone. So I'm just going to add all of these, anything that's really above 95%. We'll run it, another scan on that, and then we can go back and look at this strain using the Entangled Insights. And again, we have the pH and the trace element stress evaluation, and we've added those. So I'm going to go back to now the Progressive Insights. We can run another analysis. We can see if any of these functional zones appear to show at the top. And we do have some of these that are popping up right at the top up here. So let's, again, we can work with the highs and the lows and hit play. Okay, and that's 36%. Let's just, even though that's not 40%, I just want to back out of here, and I do want to go to, I'm going to clear out of here and go back to the bioterrain library and run an Entangled Insights. So Wendy asked the question why I didn't select the mediums. And Wendy, I'm experimenting a little bit in using the highs and the lows in the Progressive Insights, a little bit the way Kimberly McGeorge is using them, where she's showing the highs to be like a stress and the lows to be kind of like an issue, and the mediums are okay, like, you know, I wouldn't say 100% balance, but close enough to balance. So I'm working with that intention. So again, you know, we talk about this often when we work with the quantum field and the genius. A lot of it is the intention on how you work with it. I have always worked with the highs, medium, and lows in the Progressive Insights as being high priority, medium priority, and low priority. But again, it's your intention. So I hope that helps and not confusing you, Wendy. Okay, so. Okay, so I'm going back into the Candida and yeast, and let's go to Entangled Insights here. Okay, so I'm going to load all insights and the entire matrix and hit check. Okay, so I am going to add the top 50 and the bottom 50, I believe. And let's see what shows up here. So it's interesting, some of the items that show up here, athlete's foot, well, that would be a fungus. But frozen shoulder is showing up top. So who here, I know that we have a lot of people in the group who have had issues with their shoulder. Is there anybody who has shoulder issues today? I wonder if anything will show up here. So let's run, let's just hit all and hit play. Okay, so I'm reading what Claire wrote. So thank you, Claire, for adding this. So if you're in system overview or libraries, put the title of a line item into the main hold tray. It will add all the items behind it. But if you are in libraries and you do the top, bottom 50, then you will get the line items. Well, yes, yes, yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I think that they were asking more like on digestion, let's say, they just want digestion. They don't want all the 11 line items that are in that panel. But when you pull the line digestion down, it adds everything. Like there's no way just to get the library title name in there. That was your question, right, Margaret?
I think the confusion was with the libraries and what Dr. Drake was doing as well.
Oh, well, you were on that call.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I wasn't on that call. So, anyway, so on the bottom here, we have an average percent rectification of 22. I am going to run that again. See if we can get this up a little bit higher, and then we can rescan and run the highs and the lows. Yes, whenever, if you would only grab what's beneath it if you're dragging the specific line title, not if you're doing a bulk grab, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's a little bit higher. I'm going to rescan this. And we can work with the highs and the lows now. For 1 minute. Now, interestingly, when you do the entangled insights here, it doesn't actually also bring in Candida. We probably should have added that line item in. It adds all the entangled insights, but it doesn't actually add in. It doesn't, we don't have the Candida strain that we checked off. So this is at 28%. We can go back and add that in. And we can hit all one more time for 1 minute. How's everybody's shoulders? Does anybody have any shoulder pain? How just curious if this is helping with it. So Wendy is saying her shoulder feels the same, but you usually feel it the next day. So, you know, shoot me an email, Wendy, if it feels any differently tomorrow. I'd love to know. Oh, is it close to the top? Oh yeah, you're right. It's right above the frozen shoulder. So let's go and see what our aura is looking like. Oh, Sylvia, that's great. I'm so glad to hear your shoulder cleared up using the app all week. So now we can look at the aura. So we're having some reds in there. We have a lot of colors in there. I think that's some red and orange in that. So I'm just going to add in here the emotions and the neurotransmitters. Where's our 528? And I'm going to add in all the spiritual protection in here. So let's just run this. Oh my goodness, look at what is on the top. That's crazy. So let's run the highs and the lows. Oh, absolutely. You can always add it in. And Margaret, my feeling on, you know, when we work with the progressive insights and it's looking at the relationship, I always like to think of it when the genius is looking at it on a relationship basis. Think of if you know, and your friend are talking. Your conversation is going to go a lot different than when a third person comes in and now you have 3 people in the conversation. Maybe before you felt totally safe and comfortable talking to, let's say, me as your friend, and then a third or fourth person that comes in, it kind of upsets the apple cart a little bit. It's kind of the same way when we use the progressive insights with the where it's looking at the relationship between everything, because you know, any of these, like this Candida, may be fine by itself in green, but when you add it in with other things that may be going on in your life, all of a sudden it may be high, and it may be out of balance. So definitely, so that's all getting to, like, when we always talk about getting to the root cause of something. So absolutely, you could always add that in as a preventative. So Karen's saying it is the new variant. May use that to, what is that at the end? Quarantine. I don't know. Oh, Epstein-Barr syndrome. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, that's what we've been working on today, Karen. I know that you came in a little late, but the focus today was that new variant to work on, since it has been coming up in the news as